What's going on, everybody? It's AG here. Today, I'm going to be revealing my post-spring, still too early, college football playoff predictions. We're going to be breaking it down. Join me down in the comment section as we move along. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your way too early, still too early, college football playoff predictions. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you like it. And if you are new here, hit that subscribe button as well. So before we dive in, I want to look at my first five out. So these are the first five teams out that kind of had an argument to get in. So I've played out the scenarios of the season for each of these teams. So I'm going to have their records, who they lost to, all that good stuff, why they're at where they are. Now, the two teams with the biggest argument here is Iowa State and Illinois. Now, I think what's going to happen is you're going to have almost an overcorrection of last year. They let in, the SMUs, the Indianas, and they kind of got manhandled a little bit. So I think they're going to overcourse correct here. I think they're going to let in some multiple loss SEC or Big Ten teams to kind of make up for that. So we at least get a competitive first round. I might be wrong. So first off, first five out, we've got Iowa State at 12-1. So they're 12-0 entering the conference championship week. They lose to BYU in the Big 12 championship. I've got them out right now. They definitely have an argument to be in, though, because they have some solid wins. Illinois at 11-1. They have been a loss to Ohio State. So this is pretty similar. Illinois' resume is similar to Indiana's last year. So not really any good wins, but also their only losses to Ohio State. So do they get in? I don't think so right now. Louisville at 10-2. They've got losses to Clemson and Miami, both really good ACC teams. Kansas State 11-1 with a loss to Iowa State, but they missed the Big 12 championship. To be honest, I really don't know how the tiebreaker is going to work there because Kansas State, Iowa State, and BYU all don't play each other. So there's a really realistic chance that two of them have one loss. Like, let's say right now, Kansas State and BYU have one loss and Iowa State's undefeated. That's a realistic possibility. And then Georgia Tech at 10-2 with losses to Clemson and Georgia. So those are my first five out right now. If I was to say one of these has a really legitimate argument, I would say it's Iowa State. I think they have a good chance to get in. All right, so let's go ahead and run through it here. So first off, the numbers on the corner are going to be a little off because I'm not going in order. I'm kind of doing it right now like the playoff does it, which makes absolutely no sense, I know. But first off, I'm going to reveal the conference champions. So starting off, Georgia, number one. So they are the number one overall seed. They are 13-0 and the SEC champs, dipping Texas in the regular season. Number two, Ohio State. They are the number two overall seed as well at 12-1. Big Ten champs. Then they had a loss to Michigan in the regular season. Number six, Clemson. So they're going to be the number three in the playoff seed, but number six overall. 12-1 ACC champions, lost to South Carolina in the regular season, but undefeated in the ACC. Then out of the Big 12, BYU at number 9, 12-1. Big 12 champs with a loss to Iowa State, but they made up for that loss in the Big 12 championship. Then out of the G5, right now I have Miami of Ohio at 12-1. The MAC champs lost to Wisconsin. Now, looking at everybody's as far as the favorites in the G5, the opportunity to make the playoff is there for a lot of these teams, but it looks like a lot of them have pretty tough tests against power conferences in the early few weeks of the season. So I really don't see any of them going undefeated probably. But Miami of Ohio, really good the past couple of years. They've got Daquan Finn back at quarterback coming in from Toledo and Baylor. So I think they're going to have some tremendous upside. Go look at his stats at Toledo, and they're legit. All right, so that's kind of what the bracket looks like at the moment. All right, before we reveal everybody else, that large teams. Georgia, number 1, Ohio State, number 2, Clemson, 3, BYU, 4, and then Miami of Ohio at 12. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it here. First off, my number 1 at large team, South Carolina, 12-1, undefeated in the regular season with a loss to Georgia in the SEC championship. Definitely possible there. Lenore Sellers is back. They're going to be good. Their schedule is really favorable. And so that's kind of what that looks like now. That'll give them Miami of Ohio. We got Michigan coming in at number 4, 12-1, beat Ohio State in the regular season, then lost to them in the Big Ten championship. Defense is going to be good. They're going to have a run game. Can they replace the D-line? I think so. And they're going to have improvement in quarterback. That's the big key for me here. Their defense is going to be good. They can run the football. And they were pretty solid last year anyway. There's no way their quarterback play is worse than last year. So I think they've got a legitimate chance of going undefeated. So that's what it looks like now. All right, so next up we've got Texas. I've got them at 10-2 with losses to the top two teams, Ohio State and Georgia. Texas, I think they're going to be good, but they've got some question marks in certain pieces, particularly at quarterback. I know Arch Manning did okay, but they didn't play the toughest competition. Defense is going to be good. You got to replace some skilled guys though at receiver. Running back room, you have arguably the best running back room in the nation. All right, Miami comes in at number 7, 12-1, lost to Clemson in the ACC championship. They don't play each other in the regular season, so they could both be undefeated at that time. Penn State, I've got them at number 8. Now, spoiler alert, if you haven't watched my Still Too Early top 25, Penn State is number 1. So I'm really high on them. I just have them losing to Ohio State in the regular season right now. Drew Aller is back. That backfield is back. And I stand corrected on the Texas. Penn State has the best backfield in the country. Those two running backs are nasty. Their defense is going to be good. Is it going to be good as last year? I don't know, but it's going to be good. All right, Alabama sneaks in here. So these last two, I went back and forth on putting, including Alabama and the next team. I went back and forth on putting them in because they had multiple losses. Iowa State originally I had in above this team as well as Illinois. But Alabama, I've got coming in 10-2 losses to Georgia and South Carolina. They've got a lot of talent, but didn't quite get the job done last year under Kalen DeBoer. So how is that going to look this year? We'll see with the quarterback replacement for Jalen Milroe. Then my last team in the field here is Florida, 9-3, but all good losses. Texas, Georgia, Miami. DJ Lagway is a really good football player, and Billy Napier had that team trending up at the end of the last year. I think Florida might be able to sneak in. So this is what the field looks like. We've got a matchup of Miami and Penn State. Winner faces Georgia. South Carolina, Miami, Ohio. Winner faces BYU. Michigan, Florida. Winner faces Clemson. And then Texas, Iowa State. Winner faces Ohio State. So let's go ahead and reveal it. Miami, Penn State. I've got Penn State winning that one. As good as I think Miami will be this year with Carson Beck, Penn State is a little more consistent. I think they can grind it out and kind of wear Miami down. So I've got Penn State winning that one. South Carolina, I've got to beat Miami of Ohio. South Carolina's just got way too much NFL upside this year with a lot of first-round talent. Lenore Sellers might be the best player in the country. Michigan and Florida, I've got Michigan winning that one. That would actually be a pretty good game, though, I think. But I think Michigan, kind of similar to what I was saying with Miami, Penn State, I think Michigan just grinds them out and wears them down. Texas, Iowa State. Iowa State is going to be pretty solid this year. They've got a lot of pieces back. Rocco Beck, the quarterback, but Texas has way too much upside. So next round, we've got Penn State, Georgia, BYU, South Carolina, Texas, Ohio State, and Clemson, Michigan. Penn State, I've got meeting Georgia right now. Georgia, I've got them going undefeated, but they just have some question marks. Gunnar Stockton, I think, will be fine at quarterback. He looked good in his game in the playoff, but the skill guys for Georgia are kind of lacking right now. They've got a lot of them, but Gunnar Stockton in the playoff was putting it on the money, and the guys just couldn't catch the ball. They're going to need to find a new running back. So I've got Penn State right now beating Georgia. BYU, South Carolina. I think South Carolina has a better player. I think BYU might have the better team. I mean, last year they were this close to making the playoff anyway. They had a pretty good argument, and they returned their best players on offense and defense. Probably their 3 best players on offense, 2 or 3 best players on defense. And like I said, they were salty last year. I think they lost to SMU and somebody else in the playoff maybe, or did they beat SMU? I can't remember. But BYU, I think, is a really good team this year. Watch out for BYU. Clemson, I've got beating Michigan. Michigan, as good as I think they'll be, Clemson just has way too many first-round guys right now. I think they have 6 or 8 guys being mock drafted in the first round right now. Probably Dabo Swinney's most talented team he's had since Trevor Lawrence. Texas, Ohio State, a rematch. No matter where I put Texas here, like even if you try to drop them to 8 or 9, they'd have a rematch with Georgia. So they're going to have a rematch either way unless they get to 6 or 5. So it depends on kind of what the committee thinks of them. Ohio State, though, I think will be better at the beginning because they have the talent out wide. Jeremiah Smith, Caleb Downs, probably 2 of the best players in the country. Texas, though, I think gets the job done here. Little revenge game. I think they get it back. And then Arch Manning, I think, is good enough to win this game. So Texas, I've got going on there. And so Penn State versus BYU, I've got Penn State winning that one. I think Penn State's just too much for BYU. They can overpower them. Texas, Clemson, kind of a toss-up. Clemson could get their get-back game from this year's playoff, but I've got Texas winning that one. And then Texas, Penn State. As of right now, I got Texas. Penn State, Texas both made the semis last year, both barely lost out. Actually, you know what? I'm going to change it. I have Texas on the graphic here, but I'm going to change my mind. I think Penn State wins that one. I think James Franklin finally gets over the hump. I know I've got Texas written down. Like I said, I'm going Penn State last minute here. Penn State, I think, is just too talented across the board here. I think their running backs are good. I think Drew Aller is experienced enough that kind of helps them out here. They play a really grinded out style. This will be a heck of a ball game. But give me Penn State here. Actually, I'm changing my mind. But what do you think? What are your still too early college football playoff predictions? Let me know. Comment down below your thoughts. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and like it. And if you are new here, hit that subscribe button.